That's...
Got 0.
Thank for your repag.
Op 4 left.
Fuck.
One's up, one square.
Nomad.
One's in stock. He's super taxed above.
Op 4 last stop. Op 4 left.
What's up, guys? All right, so today we're going to be doing an operator guide on Castle. We're going to be talking about what to do with Castle, how to use your utility, when to use your utility, not just placing them all over the place because it messes up your teammates, and how to excel and rank up his Castle. So let's get to it. All right, so first let's talk about Castle's loadout. We have the UMP 45. You can run this with a vert grip or an angle grip. Honestly, either is fine. The angle grip was nerfed slightly, so I like to keep a laser beam. So I personally like the vertical grip, but people mostly run angled grip. I like the vert. You have the 1.5 as well as a bunch of 1Xs. Definitely run that 1.5 when you can. Helps out a lot, especially that's why I run the vert, just to make a steady little laser beam. Recoil, I will show that later. I like to run flash hider. You can run extended barrel. Honestly, that's not a bad option for long range fights, but like I said, I like a laser beam. And you have the M10 shotgun. This shotgun is pretty good. It's I think that the shotgun isn't bad if you're going to play someone like Pulse, but I don't think Castle should really run this shotgun on the... You might be able to get away with it, but more so it's probably not going to be the shotgun you choose, because let's talk about secondaries. You have a super shorty. There's no reason to not run a super shorty. When you're Castle, you are an architect. Basically, you are forming the site in a way that works for the defenders, that hurts the attackers. So super shorty is going to really help make rotates and kill holes and lines of sight that your team is going to need to win. And there is a 5.7 USG, and this pistol is probably one of the worst pistols in the game personally, I think. And there's no reason to run this when you have this super shorty as a backup. The bulletproof cam as well as procs. So there's going to be two options to use these, like both of these, but I think that most of the time you're going to probably run the bulletproof cam. With the Castle doors, you can be subject to a lot of crouch walk and rat plays from the enemy. So I definitely think that bulletproof cam for a little bit more intel is probably going to be the best bet. Prox alarm, if there's a lot of staircases and you just don't know really anywhere else to put your bulletproof cam, prox alarm isn't going to hurt you. I mean, sound cue, better than nothing. All right, so here's the UMP on full auto with a 1.5 and a vert grip. Here's a laser beam, so clearing a hallway while keeping it at head height, very easy to do. So that's personally why I enjoy it. So let's talk about the Castle Barricades. So Castle Barricades function like so. Can't get through it. Drones will be able to go underneath, as well as any type of utility like flashbangs, grenades, etc. will be able to go underneath. Any type of explosive will destroy the Castle Barricade, and enemies will be able to destroy the Castle Barricade with explosives or melees like so. So it was recently nerfed from I think 11 or 12 melee hits down to 9, but Castle is going to have access to 4 Castle Barricades. So you want to use your Castle Barricades in a way that it'll deny access from the attackers. So let's say you're really afraid of someone being on these windows. I'll place this Castle Barricade here, so like I know that we're protected from those windows. I mean, you can put one here, but then they might swing in. But let's say you're not worried about that for a different situation. So now you are completely protected unless they destroy the Castle Barricades, like they can with a grenade or ash breach, or basically anything explosive will destroy this. So Castle Barricade, pretty simple and straightforward. A lot of newer players will run the Castle Barricade and kind of just place them on random door frames, but we're going to talk about why that's not a good thing. All right, so let's say the attackers open up this wall with like a thermite breach or something. I'm gonna just pop it open like so we'll be able to show you guys what I'm talking about. No, boom. So let's say they open this with like a thermite breach, right? And as an amateur Castle player, I'm just, let's castle off the site, because let's say I'm in this room. I'm castling off the site. Castle off, castle off. And I'll put like 2 like here actually. So it can't get us from the windows either. So you'll see this in a lot of different ways that a lot of the newer players will tend to do. So as an attacker, I'm coming in. Let's say we open this wall. I see that castle barricade. Defenders can't shoot me through this area anymore. Like, it's a pivotal spot for defenders to have. If they drone, they'll know that they can only go down this hallway, and a lot of defenders aren't going to just chill by these windows. It's dangerous. So basically, the attackers will have free access into the site to do whatever the hell they want. So when you're castle, you have to be wary of this. When you do a castle barricade like this, it has to be met with something like this. If you want to deny an angle, that's more than fine with castle barricade. But you still need to have a way of countering when the attackers push in. You can't just barricade everything with your castle barricades. You have to play around them. So a lot of different angles that the attackers aren't going to be used to, they'll look over and be like, okay, well, this is a little awkward. And even better, if you have this barricade down, you'll be able to have an angle like so to the square from here, which is honestly a fairly strong angle. And most of the time, defenders will also make it rotate like so. Like that. So the attackers can't just come into the site for free. There's a lot of holes. There's a lot of unknown. There's a lot of danger. So when you're castle and you're just castling up random doors, really make sure you're taking that into consideration. Can the attackers just kind of walk in if there aren't defenders in that room and honestly just win the game by planting? Make sure you pay attention to that. All right, so I'm gonna show you guys another example of a bad castle. So bouncing out the stock room on bank and not making feed holes. I've seen this, a lot of players do this, like honestly a little bit too much. Let's show you guys why that's a bad idea. Let's say I'm a Sledge or an Ash or a Zofia or anything with a grenade. So, oh, stock's clear. I can take stock incredibly fast. And let's say I knock out this castle. Now we have free reign of the stock room. No problem. No defender involvement, nothing. Good to go. So a better way of holding this. Making the feed holes so they can't just jump in. You will be able to hold that angle from, let's say, janitor, or as long as they're afraid that you might be holding that angle, perfect. And a lot of times, you can castle off a window like this. You'll probably use your castle somewhere else, but castling one side of these windows isn't necessarily bad, because especially that close window, because that's the window that is going to be in danger for like players playing like this. So that window isn't as dangerous. This castle will get destroyed fairly quickly. I mean, they can melee it, but that is a lot of sound cue and audio cue to play off of, so you're probably not really going to be in any danger. Make sure you make a labyrinth at the site that you're defending, or wherever you're defending this castle. Make a labyrinth around, but always allow defenders to like be able to maneuver through that ground. Don't just close things off completely, because you are giving the attackers free map control. All right, guys, let's take you through a quick castle setup for CEO. As castle, I like to open this wall for square so we can have angles so they can't just access the square easily. I'll place a castle here to keep the defenders in sight safe, but I'm not going to castle the other one. I'm going to make a rotate here for the janitor player as well as lawn nest player. Then I'm going to make feed holes like so they can't jump into stock for free. Make it a little bit more dangerous, make them have to slow down and take a second look. And then I'll castle 3 of these windows. This castle, so they can't just be on the rappel, and if they're on that rappel, honestly, you can get shot all the way from here. It happens a lot, especially in the higher elo. So I'll throw a castle here. And then I'll throw 2 castles, so I can't just play on rappel and shoot us through these windows. So we'll be good to go. And then I'll place the bulletproof. There's 2 spots for bulletproofs. You'll reinforce this wall. We can place a bulletproof here, which will give you access to just, you know, look down the hallway, which is not a bad bulletproof cam. But here's a bulletproof cam I like to do, because a lot of times we're not gonna have barb or anything for the staircase. So I like to place a bulletproof cam here, which is usually hidden away from the attackers. It is very hard to see this camera. I'll show you guys what it looks like when the attackers are coming in. They're not normally gonna see that camera. See, like, it is very hard to tell that is there. Most of the time, they're not gonna look for it. And here's the vision that you get from that camera. You will have all access of anyone walking up Spiral or playing in the lobby. I personally love that camera. Definitely recommend. And that's gonna be your default castle set. And you'll just play like in the hallway, watching the windows, maybe playing your janitor. Probably reinforce this wall too. And yeah, a lot of things you do. We're gonna go through a couple castle setups on bank, and then we're gonna do one on club. So, all right, here's another castle setup or open area on bank. So we're gonna castle this door. You're gonna reinforce all these walls off. Shotgun out the floor so I can't just walk in for free. Gonna make it rotate specifically on the right side. I'll show you guys why on the right side in a second. The setup takes a long time, so you're gonna want to do this fast. So specifically on the right side, because defenders that are over here, let's say they're not pushing that kitchen door, you will be able to hold that archive like so. If you have it on the right side, you can have it even at a deeper angle, but it is a little bit more dangerous. So you can do it either way, it's fine, but that wall is probably going to remain soft, so you're gonna want to be careful. We're gonna vault through. We're gonna castle up this window, specifically this window, just to make archives a little bit easier. They will be able to still go through that door, but it's just one door, and a defender can watch that. You're gonna reinforce this wall right here. I'd reinforce that wall. I'm going to throw a castle. Actually, a lot of times there's two spots for bulletproof. I'll talk about both. I'm gonna throw the same bulletproof as before, so I can watch the lobby walk in, and then I'm gonna castle this door, so I'm gonna know when they're in lobby. You can also throw the camera here, so you can have access to this hallway, but more than often, you're probably gonna be playing around this hallway. There's shotgun the floor out. You guys will see in a second why I do this. And honestly, prox alarms aren't a bad guys to pick for this site as castle. And we're gonna be good like this. So you can have a prox alarm. Let's say you throw a prox alarm down here, so you know someone's crouched walking up, and you can hold pillars from the bottom of the staircase. And you can also open that up so you can see them as they walk in. So very powerful position. If the attackers take from above, I mean, there's not much they can do to you on that staircase without you really knowing. Like, it's, unless they get like that perfect angle, it's really hard for them to get to you. So, but if you're them above, don't be afraid to fall back to sight or play more underneath and kind of wait them out, because a lot of times the execute is gonna be really slow. So now let's go to clubhouse. All right, let's talk about a clubhouse gym hold. You're going to castle off these two windows, as well as shotgun out the floor, as make it rotate here. You're also going to castle this door, so even if they open that, they'll still have a hard time destroying anything that's on the wall. So you're gonna make it rotate here, reinforce, and if you want a bandit trick, this is the time to do it. Honestly, if they don't run a Maverick, or if you ban Maverick, you can kind of keep this wall closed if you play it smart. You're gonna run over, you're gonna make a rotated gold, as well as a rotate specifically on that side of Logi. You can do it either way, actually. It really doesn't matter. It's up to you. And then you're gonna open up a hole here and reinforce that window, sorry. And then I like to place my bulletproof here, so I know if they ever jump into gym. So I have a line of sight all the way across. But you could, if you want, have prox alarms and maybe place a prox like there. Gonna reinforce this wall as well, and yeah, you can like kind of poke your head into the server, and if they ever start to mess with your castles, if they have a sledge, the biggest weakness to this defense is having a sledge, because they can just open up all your castle windows instantly. But if they have a sledge, he has to literally be at the windows, and you can just peek this and honestly just take them apart very quickly. So personally, I would play like somewhere like near green box or like near this condor, or play top red. And there's a lot of map control the attackers have to do to take control of everything here, and gives a lot of opportunity for you guys to hold out a little bit longer. All right, guys, that's gonna be it for my operator guide on how to play castle. So a few exiting points here. When you guys pick castle, make sure you're playing with your team and you're really talking to them about like why you're doing a certain thing. If they don't know, don't just force a castle strat upon them if they have no idea what the hell you're doing. If you don't know the castle strat that you want to do in advance, don't just throw castles willy-nilly, because like we talked about, sometimes castling off the wrong thing can lead to bad rounds and giving the attackers a little bit too much freedom. So make sure you're smart about it. Other than that, castle is a very strong op in certain situations. If you have a general idea of like why you want to hit castle for a certain round, just make sure like when you're using your castle barricades, you are keeping the enemy out while not really messing with how the attack or how your defenders are going to play the round out. You're keeping your defenders protected without giving the attackers too much map control. All right, guys, until next time, make sure to subscribe, leave a comment, drop a like for more. SenVale would be posting daily content on YouTube. So hit us up, guys. Let's go.